Hey guys, it's Jen with Happy Humble Home, and it's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for the weekly update. So before we jump back, or flashback, whatever you want to call it, don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell so you're notified of all the adventures here in Happy Humble Home, and let's... Alright, good morning guys. So it's Friday morning, and honestly y'all, I haven't recorded at all this week. We got the kids back from their latest adventure Monday, and then I've just enjoyed getting back, I guess, to normal a little bit, as much as normal as our summers are. And then I've just enjoyed, you know, coffee with friends, getting other stuff done that needed to be done, finalizing up their school. I went ahead and got one more book from a different, I was able to get Nathan's, yes, 7th grade language arts, or English, whatever you want to call it, writing book from Thrift Book. So I went ahead and got that one placed. I can cream those 4 dozen ears of corn that I got. I was intending on doing a video on the way that I cream corn, but at the time that I was creaming the corn, it was right around the time that I was trying to do supper as well, so I just didn't take the time to get everything set up because I had other stuff that needed to be done at that time too, so I didn't worry about that. I will probably definitely be getting some more corn though, once I can find it, because that corn was pretty much all that they had at the farmer's market I went to, because it's not quite, everybody hasn't quite got their harvest in yet. So I will definitely be getting more. And then also for the 4 dozen ears of corn that I did get, I ended up only creaming, I ended up creaming about 3.5 dozen, I think I was left with, I either kept 6 or 8 ears out for just corn on the cob. So I creamed about 3.5 dozen, and in those 3.5 dozen, I ended up getting 11 cups of creamed corn, because I'll freeze them in quart-sized bags. I'll put roughly 3 cups in each quart-sized bag that I can. So I ended up with about 3.5, and the 3 cups of cream style corn is enough to feed all of us and have some leftovers. So that makes it really easy. Makes it a really good side dish. That's really been about it. It hasn't been a whole lot that we've been doing. My carrots are still growing, so I still got 2 or 3 that's really shot up for some reason. I don't know why, so I'm just kind of letting them go and kind of seeing how all that plays out. My tomatoes have a lot of leaves and a lot of blossoms, but yesterday I did see one little tomato starting, but it's, I don't know, they got off to a really late start, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I think I know what the deal is, but I think I just didn't have my soil prepped right in that bed. But what I've done since figuring that out has really helped them shoot up and all, and we may be getting a little bit later start, but that's okay. I mean, it's still really warm here, so I don't think I'll run into any issues on that note. I got my, sorry y'all. I was going to do some grape jelly and do it, canning it so that way it could be in the pantry instead of the freezer, but I figured out how I can, the steam bath canner pot that I have is not very good on our stove, and it goes too far past the element on our stove. I don't want it to crack the top. And then I tried to use our gas grill. That I wasn't big enough either. So since I already had everything, I just went ahead and did a freezer grape jelly jam. It turned out great. So yeah, I ended up making, let's see, made about 3 pints probably worth of grape jelly freezer jam from just the one simple recipe that I used. It's a tad on the sweet side for my taste, but there's ways I can remedy that for next time too. But I did get that done. Not quite what I was hoping as far as being able to can it goes, or seal it and all. But that's okay, because we do have freezer space right now. We have a little bit of freezer space for that, so that's alright. But I did figure out what I will need to do in order to use our stove. I'll just have to get a smaller pot that's taller, basically, and I may not be able to do like 7 quarts like I could in my big steam bath canner, but it saves me from messing up our stovetop, so I'm okay with that. And really I don't have that much. I don't can that large of quantities at this point in our journey. Let's see what else. I said, y'all, it's kind of been a slower, steadier week. I did finally figure out I can't remember if I said this last week, I probably did, but finalized our school calendar, so we're not going to be starting until like the 2nd week of August, and I changed it up a little bit this year. We're not going to be taking we usually take a spring break and a fall break for 5 days like the normal school system does, and usually I usually kept it during our oldest son's birthday and fall break. I usually put his birthday and fall break there, so he had it off. And then I usually kind of kept it with the local area, so that way if their friends were off school, they were off school. But I took away those 2 this year because my husband's work schedule has changed. So instead of doing the spring and fall break, I decided to go ahead and give us one of the days off that my husband now has off instead, and incorporating that. So basically once a month we will have a 3-day weekend, and even doing it that way, we still will actually get out about 4 or 5 days earlier than we did last year. So I'm excited to see how that goes. That kind of just gives us a little extra break during the summer, or not during the summer, sorry, during the school year. We will still take our normal Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks because I like how those are set up. And I might, now that I'm sitting here saying that, I might think about giving us a longer Christmas break. No, probably not. I don't know. So I said it was finalized. It's 99.9% sure finalized in my head. But I still have to do the registration process. But like I said, I have everything ready to go. It's just a matter of clicking submit and typing it in. So it's all the legwork's done. I do need to get, once I get all the textbooks in, I'll need to get the way that I keep track of grades. I'll leave a link to that video if you have not seen that video yet. I'll get that grade book, for lack of better words, up for this coming year, and once I actually see the curriculum and have it on hand, I'll be able to judge what weight different things carry that I'm going to use for grading. Also, I'm looking into getting a food saver. The one I'm looking at, I think, is the FM 2000, I think, something like that. So if y'all have any kind of vacuum sealer food saver, I would love to hear how you like them. I do want one, since I do have a lot of mason jars and I use those for just storing other stuff. I do want one that I can vacuum seal mason jars with, like for my herbs and that kind of stuff. So if you have or know of a vacuum sealer that's really good that I can also do the canister seal with, let me know in the comments below, because that is something I think would be coming in handy in our household. We have talked about it actually before, and at that time I really didn't do a lot of like cream style corn, frozen green beans. I didn't really do anything like that because I don't have a pressure canner, so if I want to preserve anything like that from the farmer's market or that we grow, it needs to go in the freezer at this point. So I didn't really have, when we had talked about last, I really didn't do anything like that, and I was iffy on getting it just because I cream style corn. One year I didn't, the way I creamed it, like I said, it lasted pretty much. I still have 2 bags in there from this time last year that are still good, and so I know that the way that I do preserve them and freeze them and all, they freeze well. But I think I would like to invest maybe in a vacuum sealer just for longevity even more. And you can also vacuum seal fruits and that kind of stuff, certain fruits and all too, which I think would be nice, especially in wintertime when you can't get as much fresh produce like that, or in season produce I should say. Thank you guys so much. I have crossed over 400 subscribers, so that's just insane to me. It took me about 10 to 11 months to reach 100 subscribers, and that was in like December, so now we're about what, 8 months, 7-8 months later, and I'm already up 300 more from that. So thank you guys so much. I still can't believe I'm doing the YouTube channel, because it's just not, like, usually a pretty quiet person and not one that likes to do cameras and stuff, but clearly my videos are not by any means like some big professional to do or anything like that, but you know, you never know. Just take it one video at a time. But thank you guys so much for sticking around with me, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. That way you don't miss any adventures here, because this channel is like a wide range. We got homeschool, we have homesteading, we have hiking adventures, we have cooking stuff, so it's just kind of a general compilation. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Like I said, sorry I did not get that kind of style video. If you have questions though, you can leave them in the comment, and I can basically, it's pretty easy to explain on that. But yeah, so if y'all have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them in the comment section. And then also, if you have any experience with a food saver, or not even just a food saver brand, but like a vacuum sealer, and preferably one that has the canister attachment to it, or that ability, please let me know. I know there's some like really high ends. I'm looking more for a budget friendly one that can do the job well. It's kind of more what I'm looking at. So if y'all have any experience with that or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this week. Yeah, sorry I didn't really, that'll actually wrap it up this time, I promise. So y'all have a beautiful weekend, and I'll check with y'all later.